Hey everyone, welcome back to Pictures Up Productions. I'm Sam Morgan, the writer-director of a film called I Love You Bro. If you haven't seen the film, honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but if spoilers are something that you care about, I might advise watching the film before you watch this behind-the-scenes video. I Love You Bro was kind of my first major film school project. I'm currently at the University of Georgia in Athens pursuing a degree in entertainment and media studies, which basically means that half of the major is media production oriented and the other half of the major is media industry studies, media analysis studies. This is kind of the perfect major for me, and it gave me the chance to produce this film that I am very passionate about. So I Love You Bro is about two bros, Connor and Zeke. At the beginning of the film, Connor tells Zeke that he loves him.
Well, let me know if you want to talk about it, man.
Seriously, man, I'm all good.
Or anything, I'm here for you. I love you, bro.
Zeke kind of gives him the cold shoulder, and they spend the rest of the movie arguing over whether it is appropriate for guy friends to say I love you to each other.
Don't you think it's like little, gay?
Since I wrote this script for a class, I was required to turn in some planning and research documents along with it. I went to the UGA library, did some research on masculinity and male friendships, which kind of just like confirmed the things I already knew from lived experience, but it was useful to get that background information anyway. I also put together some visual references and some storyboards, which if you're looking at those right now, you can tell that those don't look anything like the finished product. That's because the script I wrote was actually pretty different from the film that I eventually ended up making. Connor and Zeke were originally actually going to be fraternity brothers, and they were going to be on the way to spring break at Panama City Beach, so it was kind of a road trip movie that took place partially in a car, partially in a diner, and then finally on the beach is where they have the conversation that in the finished film they have in the bathroom.
I love you, bro.
So rewriting this when the assignment for my production class came about was kind of just a matter of making it practical. I set part of it in my apartment because that's a location that could not possibly fall through, and I set another part of it in a bar, which was a location that definitely could fall through, but if it did, I would still be able to use the apartment as a failsafe and we could just make it one of those movies that takes place all in one apartment. I didn't want it to be that, but I always had that to fall back on. So now that I had my revised script, the one that I would be shooting for this class, I had to put my crew together. First off, for my producer, I brought on Isabel Rubendahl, who is a very friendly person, but also has the capacity to be very no-nonsense and very organized, which I felt was a quality I needed in a producer. Then there was Alexis, my assistant director, who, like Isabel, took screenwriting and production basics with me. I had a feeling that she would do a good job with it, and I was right, she did a great job with it, and she was great to be around on set as well. I brought on Thomas Livingston to do sound. He seems like the kind of guy where you could hand him virtually any piece of gear and he would know how to use it. He was the DP on several projects this semester, and he did a fantastic job with each of them. Far too many student films neglect sound, so I wanted someone talented on the job. Thomas was that guy. Kay Bracco was my behind-the-scenes videographer. I had worked with her on a previous, smaller production project. She's super nice, has a great sense of humor, brings a lot of great energy to the set, and on top of all of that, she's really great with a camera. I brought on Sebastian Ellis as a production assistant. He did a great job with this, and he was also doing this on top of another film that he was shooting that he wrote and directed, which I actually later ended up editing, but we'll talk about that in a second. And then of course the cast. So I kind of felt like I had to cast my Zeke before I knew who my Connor would be. Thankfully, I had met this guy Grayson in my acting class. He did this one monologue where he played like a frat guy character, and I was like, that is Zeke.
We're gonna make you and your pledge class do the elephant walk, which is basically we're gonna strip you guys butt-ass naked. You're gonna have to walk in a line around the neighborhood, all while you're holding on to each other's, not gay at all. I personally loved being touched by my brothers. Come join the brotherhood.
Crazy fun fact about Grayson, his father is the actor Shuler Hensley, which may not mean as much to cinephiles, but as a theater kid, especially a theater kid in the state of Georgia, where Shuler Hensley has an award show named after him that I attended multiple times, I was a little starstruck when I figured it out, honestly, and it explains where the talent comes from, so I just thought that was so cool. Once I had him and I could kind of visualize it in my head, it was clear to me who should be Connor, and that was Lucas Patterson. He's actually one of my classmates classmates from the screenwriting class and the production class. When we did the original table read of like the first draft of I Love You Bro, he played Connor in that table read, so I think it was just sort of meant to be. And then finally I had to cast the character of Emma, the girl that Connor flirts with at the bar, and I couldn't think of anybody better to fill the role than Sloane Sinkiel. I mean, Sloane is just an incredibly talented actress who I've had the opportunity to work with on a couple of projects in my acting class. Actually, the same day that we shot for I Love You Bro at the bar, I filmed with her a recreation of a scene from The Office where she played Dwight Schrute.
What is your name, sir?
I am Bill Buttlicker.
Just like when I wrote the script for my screenwriting class, when I produced the film for my production class, I was required to turn in a bunch of planning documents. I was effectively taking on 3 above-the-line roles in the form of writer, director, editor, and director of photography, which in the context of my classwork basically meant triple the homework. While I did have a lot of work to do, there was also a lot of work done by Isabel and Alexis as my producer and assistant director. I think if I had had to do their jobs on top of everything I had done, I would have broken down, so I genuinely could not have done this without either of them. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, if you enjoy my films and my behind the scenes content in general and you want to see more of it, or if you just want to support me as a creator, a great way to do that is by joining my YouTube channel as a member. Once you're subscribed, I think that the join button takes the place of the subscribe button. There are 4 different membership tiers. At each different tier, you unlock more cool stuff, more exclusive content. You also get a little badge next to your name every time you comment on this channel. Your comments are like higher priority. They're sorted in a certain way where I'm more likely to see them. I try to make it worth your while as a member if you support me, because it means a lot to me that you help make this something that I actually see some return from, because I sink a lot of money into filmmaking. So as a small channel, it's oftentimes the ad revenue off of these movies that helps me break even, if that. And the more that I'm bringing in, the more I'm able to focus on this and the more I'm able to make, which is just really a gift to me to be able to spend my time making YouTube videos. So yeah, anyway, that's my pitch for being a member. Back to the video. Okay, so finally, let's talk about the fun part, the shoot. Sebastian helped us get in touch with the folks at 1785, which is a bar in downtown Athens. He knew somebody there, got us permission to film in the sort of closed off side of the bar on a Tuesday night when it wasn't too busy. So we show up to 1785 on Tuesday night. The guy outside asked to see our IDs, and all of us were in like the 19 to 20 range, so we were all like, well, we don't have them, but we're filming here, we're part of the film crew. The guy had no idea what was going on. He gets the owner of the bar. The owner of the bar has no idea what is going on, but that was okay because they were super nice people, and I showed them the text messages with the manager and they were like, okay, I guess so. And despite the fact that they didn't know we were coming, they were very kind. They turned on the lights and the TVs for us and everything, and they let us do our thing. So appreciate that. Shout out to the 1785 staff. I also want to shout out our extras. None of those people are real patrons of the bar. They were just there to support a student film crew, which I so appreciate. You guys are the best. I didn't want to dirty up a bunch of the bar's like glasses and bottles and stuff like that, nor did I want to have to like actually buy drinks in order to get bottles. So I ordered a bunch of empty beer bottles from Amazon. And then the last prop I really needed was for the scene where Zeke smokes a cigarette outside. The school actually prohibits us from having any real drugs or alcohol on set, and that includes tobacco. And that's not the healthiest thing in the world to ask an actor to do, so we ordered some herbal cigarettes. Ooh. Do I have Laura? So once we finally get settled, we start making our fake drinks. There was a lot of root beer involved. There was some food coloring alchemy going on to make various like cocktails. Working on set with actors was thankfully really easy because we had made time earlier on in the process to rehearse everything that we were going to do on set, so things went really smoothly. Camera speed.
I Love You Bro, scene 4, shot F, take 1.
You're right. Tuesday nights suck. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there.
Sorry. And I really was trying to hold it in there. Didn't see you there. Damn it.
Take 2.
You're right. Tuesday nights suck. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there.
I'm so sorry. It wasn't me this time. I'm so sorry. Sorry, it wasn't me this time.
The only thing that really didn't go according to plan was there's actually supposed to be a second scene outside the bar in the movie, but by this point we were running really close to time. I think I rushed it. The shot just didn't turn out. You can see like the shadow of me on Grayson's face for like the entire shot. So the way it's supposed to go is like the initial scene in the bar, and then the scene outside with the cigarette, and then the scene with Sloane, and then the second outdoor scene. And now how it goes is bar scene, second bar scene, cigarette scene. And honestly, the dialogue in the scene that I cut was kind kind of extraneous, so maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Next up was shooting in the apartment. Now, a part of preparing for this shoot was getting the recipe down for the fake puke. Puke test. Part 2. It's under my permanent retainer. What I settled on was 3 crushed up saltine crackers soaked in a little bit of water, 2 drops of yellow food coloring, and 1 tiny almost half drop of red food coloring. Gives you that terrible orangey brown color. And then the saltines those are there for the chunks, obviously.
Are we taking it directly from that, or are we doing any line?
Yeah, we're gonna start right on the puke and then just let you guys play it from there.
Scene 7, shot A, take 1.
Okay, good.
Alright, yeah.
Shit, my bad, bro.
In order to be prepared for in case we had to do another take of this scene, I actually bought 3 of the shirt that Lucas wears in the movie. That way we could have a few takes of the puke scene if we needed to. But we didn't actually need to do that, we only used the 1 shirt. So after we were done filming the puke scene, we took the trash bags off the windows. I forgot to mention, we taped trash bags to the windows so that it was dark inside so we could film interior nighttime scenes. We untaped the trash bags from the windows, shot the beginning of the movie, and then the actors left, and that was a wrap. Cut. So post-production, I'm not going to go too in-depth into the editing process, but I actually did live stream a lot of my editing sessions, so if you want to see a little bit more of the process, feel free to go check that out.
Gay.
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 Gay. It's kind of...
Sorry. Now, part of what made this tough is that at the same time I was actually editing my friend Sebastian, who was a PA on I Love You Bro. I was editing his film. For some reason, it didn't occur to me that signing on to be the editor on 2 films would actually get pretty overwhelming when it came time for the deadline. But honestly, going back, I wouldn't change a thing because I had a great time editing Sebastian's film. I had a wonderful time doing the color on his film. I honestly think that that might be some of the best color that I've ever done. I think it's better than the color in I Love You Bro even. Anyway, the deadline arrived. I turned both films in on time at 6 in the morning the night before the screening. The screening was in Athens, which is an hour away from where my parents live. It was at 2:40 and I woke up at 2 o'clock in my house. So I was like, fuck, threw my clothes on, jumped in the car, hauled ass to Athens. I was in the hall, I was maybe 10 feet from the door and I was like, damn it, they've already started the Q&A, and I hear through the door, water. I made it for the last 2 or 3 minutes of my film and thankfully was able to stay for a Q&A, and then after that I stayed for another block of screenings. If you're one of my classmates or just someone else in my EMST cohort who's watching this video, I am so sorry I missed your film. I meant to make it to every screening. Send me a link to your film. After the premiere screening, I had to put some finishing touches on the film. This included changing the font, making color adjustments, sound adjustments, doing a pass with my headphones on to make sure all the spatial audio was good, just sort of generally tidying up the edit and getting the final version of the film ready to publish on YouTube. So as of filming this part of the video, the film has been out for 6 days. Actually, it'll be 6 days and 2 minutes. It is 5:58 right now. And in the time since it was uploaded already, the film has gotten 58.4 thousand views, which is just an incredible performance in the first week for my channel. The YouTube algorithm is a mystery to me, but something about this one seems to have worked, so I'm really glad to see that it's resonating with people. All of the comments that have been coming in have really meant a lot to me as well. I definitely feel encouraged and emboldened by this response to the film, so I have already submitted it to a few film festivals, and I'll keep submitting it throughout the year. Maybe I'll get into a few, maybe I'll be able to see you at a screening sometime. I'm really just personally satisfied with the end product. Anything past that point is a bonus, so thank you guys so much for supporting the film. If you want to see Sebastian's film that I edited, it's out on YouTube now, so there's a link for that in the description. If you want to see I Love You Bro, if you haven't seen it yet, or if you want to rewatch it, there's a link for that in the description. And finally, if you want to check out more of my original films or more of my behind the scenes videos, there are links to playlists for both of those things, you guessed it, also in the description. The names of all my channel members are on screen right now, but I would like to verbally thank my director's chair members, Hillary Morgan, Amy Stewart, and Stephen Morgan. Those are my parents and my grandmother. If you would like to join my family, join my channel as a member, and you could be like my family. I will see you in the next video. Until then, I'm Sam Morgan, and this is Pictures Up.